Okay, so hi and welcome. Hi, Andres. Good to see you. Ojulon, good to see you. So we are going to keep continuing with this unit, Unit 6. We've been talking about the past simple tense. We've made some questions and yeah, we've done a lot in this unit. So we're going to look at the last part of this unit. So 6F. Page 78, objects from the past. So objects. So if I look at the image, I can see there's an object. So an object means like a thing, an object. This one, this is an object. And it says here an ancient object. So ancient means old, at the Museo del Oro in Bogota, Colombia. An ancient object, an old object. Okay, interesting. So why do you think ancient objects are important? And why do people like going to the museum to see, hey Van, to see old objects? Why? Yes, they can see the history. Yes, they can look back into our past and see how people lived, what did people use, what did people make. Very interesting. Yeah. And that's why people like going to the museum, because in the museum is full of many, many old objects, so amazing objects, ancient old objects. Okay, let's go to look at some vocabulary. So we have words which are in bold. Bold means like in black. But let's read them with the sentence and see from A to G which one is the meaning, the definition of that word. So if I say, put your new dress in the wardrobe, what does a wardrobe mean? What's a wardrobe? It's an object. What object is it? G, a cupboard in the bedroom for clothes. Yeah, wardrobe. That's a wardrobe. So wardrobe, a cupboard, you put clothes in your bedroom. Wardrobe. Okay, so we have one. So the first one is G. Okay. Sorry, not. I was saying hi, Andres, before. I meant hi, Daniel. Hi, Andres. Because I said to you, hi, Andres. You remember? No? Okay, that's okay. Okay. So this old family photograph reminds me of my grandparents. Now, this is a verb. What does reminds mean?
Make you remember something.
Make you remember something? Yes? B. Sorry, D. Thank you. Yes, D. Okay, and when I was a child, I had a scary teacher. This is an adjective. What does scary mean?
That's so
No, scary is something that makes you feel afraid or worried.
I think
C. Yeah, something is scary, then it's making you feel worried or afraid. C. So remember, it's an adjective, this one. But for I was scared, this is the verb, the action. So if I was scared of my old teacher, that means that I am afraid or worried that something bad is going to happen. So be careful. One is an adjective and the other one is a verb. So for is B. 5, this painting belonged to my father. Belonged is a verb. What does it mean? A was the possession of. Possession means like it's something for me. I own it. It is mine. So this painting was the possession of my father. It was his. It belonged to his. He owns it. It is his. New York City is an incredible city. What does incredible? It's an adjective. Great. Really great. So E. Wow. I love your new dress. Wow is an expression like wow. Oh my God. Wow. What does wow mean? F, an expression you use when you are surprised or excited about something. Okay, good. So we learned some new words today. Wardrobe, reminds, scary, scared, belonged, incredible, wow. Okay, before we watch a video, we're going to look at we're going to watch a video with 3 people talking about objects from their past. But before we watch, let's match these sentences with the object. So the first one is address. The second object is the book or a book. And the third object is the bust. Maybe it's a name. Yeah. So A, it was his school book. Which one do you think? Number 2? I think this sentence is connected to this, number 2. So 2A is number 2. It was his school book. So we'll listen to the conversation in a moment, but let's just see if we can understand which sentences to which object. So the first one is 2. So 2A. He's very serious and very scary. Maybe it's talking about 3. Yeah. So 3 is B. How about I started to wear it a lot?
number 1.
Yeah, the dress. So 1C. I started to wear it. You wear something. You wear a dress, you wear shoes, you wear jewelry. He had this incredible nose and chin. Must be 3 because I can see a nose and chin. Chin is here. So 3D. It's very important to me because it reminds me of my mum.
I think
The dress. Yes, maybe the dress was somebody's mum's. Yeah. So 1E. And the last one, it's called Tom Brown's School Days. Now, I don't think the dress is named Tom Brown's School Dress. I think maybe the book. Yeah, the book is called Tom Brown's School Days. So 2F. So the first sentence is number 2. This B is 3. C is 1. 3 is D. D is 3. 1E. And 2. F is 2. So 3 objects. Okay, now let's watch the video and hear people speaking about these 3 objects: the dress, the book, and the bust.
This is my mom's dress. She was born in 1955 in Moscow, in Russia. She got married in the 70s, so she made this dress to wear within African wedding. She got married in the summer, so it was very hot. Many years later, I found this dress in my mom's wardrobe, and I thought, wow, it's such a great dress. So I started to wear it a lot, and my friend asked me, wow, who's the designer? Where does it come from? It's very important to me because it reminds me of my mom, of my family, and of how, where I was born and where I grew up. This is a very special book. It's called Tom Brown's School Days. It was written in England in the 19th century, and it was my great-grandma. Special for my great-grandmother belonged to her first husband. They were married in 1898, but died in 1901. Her first husband was called Charles Ellison, and his teacher was called Mr. Montgomery. Mr. Montgomery gave Charles the book on July 31st, 1890. It was special to Charles as it was his school book, and then it was special to my great-grandmother as it reminded her of her son's husband, Charles. And now it's special to me because it's a piece of my family history.
Child, I visited my grandparents' house every Sunday. I loved visiting my grandparents. But there was one thing in the living room that really scared me. It was this. Very serious and very scary. This is Dante. He was a writer from Italy in the 13th and the 14th century. He has this incredible nose chin. Nowadays, Santa lives in my living room, and he still looks very serious. He's a little bit scary. But every morning I like getting up and looking at him. My children, I think he's a bit scary too.
Okay, so we saw a video about the three objects. So let's watch again and try and match. If you remember earlier in the lesson, we looked at time expressions. So we put this before the subject and before the verb. So we say, for example, in 1955, whatever happened. In the 70s, whatever happened. The day after her wedding, she, whatever. Years later, in the 19th century, in 1901, on July the 31st, 1890, when he was a child, in the 13th or 14th century, and nowadays. So these are all words about time. It's at the beginning of your sentence. So before you say the subject and the action, you can put time in many different ways. These are some examples. So let's match this 1 to 10 with A to J. So we'll play the video again. Yes, I have the heater very close as well. Okay, let's watch the video.
This is my mum's dress. She was born in 1955 in Moscow, in Russia. And she got married in the 70s. So she made this dress to wear the day after her wedding. She got married in the summer, so it was very hot. Many years later, I found this dress in my mum's wardrobe, and I thought, wow, it's such a great dress. So I started to wear it a lot, and my friend asked me, wow, who's the designer, where does it come from? It's very important to me because it reminds me of my mum, of my family, and how, where I was born, where I grew up. This is a very special book. It's called On Around Strawberries. It was written in England in the 19th century, and it was my great-grandmother. It was special for my great-grandmother, who belonged to her first husband. They were married in 1898, but he died in 1901. Her first husband was called Charles Elliston, and his teacher was called Mr. Montgomery. Mr. Montgomery gave Charles the book on July the 31st, 1890. It was special to Charles as it is his school book, and then it was special to my great-grandmother as it reminded her of her first husband, Charles. And now it is special to me because it's a piece of my family history.
I was a child and visited my grandparents' house at Great Hungary. I love visiting my grandparents. But there was one thing in the living room that really scared me. It was this. It's very serious and very scary. This is Dante. He was a writer from Italy in the 13th and the 14th century. He has this incredible nose chin. Nowadays, Dante lives in my living room, and he still looks very serious. He's a little bit scary, but every morning I like getting up and looking at him. My children now think he's a bit scary too.
So do you want to listen to it one more time? Maybe one more time? Okay, I'll play one more time.
This is my mom's dress. She was born in 1965 in Moscow, in Russia. She got married in the 70s, so she made this dress to wear the day after her wedding. She got married in the summer, so it was very hot. Many years later, I found this dress in my mom's wardrobe, and I thought, wow, it's such a great dress. So I started to wear it a lot. My friend asked me, wow, who's the designer? Where does it come from? It's very important to me because it reminds me of my mom, of my family, of my home, where I was born, where I grew up. This is a very special book. It's called On Brown Strawberries. It was written in England in the 19th century, and it's my great grandmother's. It was special for my great grandmother because it belonged to her first husband. They were married in 1898, but he died in 1901. Her first husband was called Charles Ellison, and his teacher was called Mr. Montgomery. Mr. Montgomery gave Charles the book on July 31st, 1890. Special to Charles, as it was his school book, and then it was special to my great grandmother, as it reminded her of her husband Charles. And now it's special to me because it speaks of my family history.
Okay, so let's check. So we have the first one, they did it for us. In 1955, she was born in Moscow. So I remember that was the woman speaking about her grandmother's dress. Number 2, in the 70s is B. Yes, she got married. So 2B. Number 3, the day after her wedding, E. She wore the dress. Years later, her daughter found the dress in a wardrobe. And in in the 19th century, the book was written. Should be F. So I hope you heard that one. In the 19th century, the book was written. 5F. 5F. In 1901, yep, her great-grandmother's first husband died. 6G. On July the 31st, 1890, yes, Mr. Montgomery gave the book to Charles Elliston. When he was a child, he visited his grandparents every Sunday. Yep, so 8I. In the 19th and 14th century,
Number D.
D. Dante was a writer in Italy. And nowadays,
C.
he lives in the living room. Yes. So this is Dante. Let's go back and have a look at who this Dante, the object number 3. This is Dante. So he was a writer. This is him here. So these are pictures, not true photographs, but here's a statue, looks like, of him. Yeah, this is him, Dante. Dante, an amazing writer. Okay, so we've understood that we can have time expressions. So that's what these are called, time expressions. So for example, you can say, yesterday I went to class. So yesterday is a time expression. It tells us when, not now, not tomorrow, yesterday. Another time expression is last night, in the morning, last summer, on the weekend. So these are all words that we put at the beginning of the sentence to tell us when we are speaking about, what time. Okay, we have some more vocab. So let's watch short little clips from the video and choose the correct option.
My mum's dress.
This, that, or these? This, singular. This is my mum's dress.
It's so important to me because it reminds me of mum.
Number B.
Of, it reminds me of. So the verb is to remind you or someone of.
This is a very picture.
Special? Mm-hmm.
And now it's special to me because it's of my family history.
Part of.
Yes, it's a part of my family history. Ah, it's a piece.
But every morning I like getting up and looking at things.
Yes, we look at someone. Okay, so let's now practice some time expressions. So we're just going to go back a bit to when we were talking about these time expressions. So what's an example you can give me, Jimin, of an time expression before the subject and the verb? So you could say yesterday, last night, last year. What's an example that I haven't said? Just a time expression, not a sentence, a time expression. Yep. Today. Yeah, today. That's a time expression. Yep. Van, what's your example of a time expression?
Last.
Last.
The last day.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, I went
No, just a time expression, not a sentence. So yesterday, good. So today, yesterday, Ojalon, what's your example of a time expression? This morning. Yep, good. These are all time. These are words that are time expressions. Yep, so we had today, yesterday, this morning. Conrado, what's your example of a time expression? This moment? Yeah, this moment I'm feeling, yeah, it's good. And Anders, this month? Yeah, this month, yep. This month I will, whatever, yep. Daniel, next week, perfect, next week. Joanna, yeah, a year ago. We don't, if it's just one, a week ago, a year ago, a month ago. So this could be a month, a year, a week ago. So for one. Alexandria. Today? Tonight. Yeah, good. Tonight. Good. So these are time expressions. We put them before the subject and before the verb. That's how we make our sentence. It's nice to put at the beginning of your sentence. Yesterday, I went to the beach, for example. Good. Okay, now we're going to get into groups. Got some time to do this. So don't look at the exercise here because I want to change it a little bit. So what I want you to do is to think of a special ancient object from the past. So it could be, for example, you know, like an ancient, it could be like an ancient sword that, you know, a very old sword from a certain tribe, a certain people. You could pick, you could pick something like this, an old ancient crossbow. You could pick an ancient hat, So a long time ago, you know, something like this. Yeah. So I'm going to put you into groups, and together you're going to write about an ancient object that you pick. So it's got to be an old object, not new. It's got to be something old. Another example, maybe ancient. I mean, if I just type ancient objects, maybe this, a pottery, you know, what was it used for? So you have to tell us, what was it used for, which country, which years. Are you gonna come to do the test tomorrow? Okay, no, that's okay. It's the test tomorrow. I can give it to you and then give to me on Monday. Yeah? Yeah. Because this one you have to do. If you feel not good, yeah. Okay, you're welcome. Stay well, stay warm. It's cold weather. So these are many ancient objects. Look at this one. So you have to pick something that is new to you with your group. So look, many amazing things, and you have to tell us what it is. But wait a moment, because you're going to go into groups. So you're going to do it together. So make sure you explain to us what it is, which country it comes from, what was it used for? What did people do with this object? Maybe, you know, the old, you know, this one when they played the music, or the time, to tell the time. I mean, there's amazing Egyptian things, the Chinese, you know, oh my God, so many objects. So let's go into groups and we'll do a presentation about it. Okay, so if you remember, we were looking at doing presentations about ancient objects, and we looked at many. So let's talk first about presentation. So presentation means that you are going to come up and present to the people by speaking. So when we do this, we need to keep the language very simple, not like when we're writing an essay or an assignment. The language needs to be, you know, informal. So, hi all, welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about blah, 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 blah. So language has to be very simple, very easy sentences. The reason that's the best thing to do is because then the people that are listening to you will be able to understand, number one. And number two, there's more interesting excitement to what you have to say. So it makes it easy and it's not boring. If you're reading something, it becomes very boring, like they're just reading it off the internet. We don't want to sound like we are from Google. We're just reading from Google. It has to be very casual, easy sentences. Yes, we get information from Google, we research, but we then need to change the language to make it very simple and easy to understand. So that's my tip to when you come and do presentations. Presentations is very different to when you write. So keep that in mind, remember that, and let's watch some presentations. So first we have Solange. Are you ready to do your presentation with Conrado? Solange is not in the room. Okay. Jimin, you are with Daniel. Okay, so you can come up. What was the item again?
Millstone. Millstone.
How do I spell that?
Stone.
Millstone. So let me type images. Millstone,
No E.
double L.
Yeah, this one.
Which picture you like? This one?
Yeah, this one.
This one. Okay, so we have a group. So Daniel coming up as well.
Yeah.
This is good. Yes.
I think more.
This is more good. Yes. So this is very ancient. So remember, so now we have a presentation by Jimin and Daniel about a millstone. So millstone is an ancient object they used to use a long, long time ago to ground up. Now we have a blender, but I'll show you what we have now quickly. So this is what we have now. You might be very familiar with using this object, right? A blender, a grinder. We can even have a grinder. This is now like grinder food. Sorry, not that one. Well, yeah, a little bit that one. So this is now what we have, very common. But okay, a long, long time ago, this is how they used to do it. So let's hear a presentation about this ancient object.
Hello, I'm Jean. I'm talk about this talk is blender in the past. My grandmother used for grind the grain in. He makes from stone and from wood. After grind beans, he can make tofu. Do you know tofu? Tofu. He make tofu like security. Yeah. And I remember my grandmother made food in the meal store.
Yes.
And I was a child. It was a good memory for me. Yeah, I cannot forget it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, milestone. So you remember your grandmother making toast?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. But it's very ancient. She still has it in her house.
Yes,
She
yes.
has it still in her house. Yes.
Yes.
That's good. Maybe not yours.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Do you have some under?
Yeah.
And that you were doing, which object were you doing again, Conrado? Yes,
Oh,
yes, this one, the gramophone. Oh no, the old photo, that's right, the old photographic camera. Yes, the old photographic camera. And is Solange ready to do the presentation? So second presentation, another ancient object. Old photographic camera. She's not in the room. No, she's not in the room. Okay, so we'll continue with some of the presentations next lesson, but let's then continue with our book. So we are at the end, Unit 6 review and memory booster. So let's look back at what we have done in all of this unit, Unit 6. So review, we're going to look back and see what we did. So do you remember we looked at currency, the money?
Yeah, Frida Kahlo,
Frida Kahlo is the
Yes.
first one, yes? Where was she from?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
What did she do?
So she's a painter.
She was a painter. She was.
Yes,
So we want to remember we're using the verb to be, was, or were when we talk about the past because she's not alive anymore. So her name was Frida Kahlo. She was from Mexico and she was a painter. So was. Number 2. Do you remember this man? So the
Yeah.
first one, Frida. I think that's how we spell her name. Who's number 2?
He's Washington.
Yeah, George Washington. George Washington. So let's write full sentences. So who was the person? Her name was Frida Kahlo and she was a painter. and she was from Mexico and a painter. So that's a full sentence. So was and was. The second one, George Washington. So George Washington was from the USA and he was the president. Are you finished? Yes.
To practice listen.
Listening? Don't worry, listening. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Maybe yeah, all good for listening. Okay, thank you. Thanks, man. So we're looking at the unit review at the end, and we'll do your presentation in a moment. So George Washington was the president. Yep, he was the first president. He was the first president. So what we're doing here is we're looking at using the verb to be, was or were, when we talk about people in the past. And the last one, who do we have?
I can remember her name. She was also in Japan.
She was from Japan?
The writer.
She was a writer from Japan.
Yes. But I can remember her name.
I don't remember her name also. So she was Japanese. Good you remember. Where in our book? Okay, let's find where she was in our book. So I think, yes, this one. This is her. So what's her name? So we can start our sentence. Her name was my Japanese is not very good. But
Because I learned Japanese when I was high school.
oh, you learned Japanese when you were in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so ichiyo,
Ichiyo Kuti.
hikuchi, hikuchi. Okay, yes. So her name was, using our past to be, and she was a writer. And she was thank you, a writer. Okay, good. So we can see the use of the word was in our sentences. Good. Let's complete this text. So we have Marco Polo. We all have heard of this man. His name was Marco Polo. Let's look at our past verbs. You remember we've got regular. That means they take the ed, or irregular, they break the rule, like went, saw. So number one, Marco Polo grew up. So grew up, that's in the past. That's how we say he grew up. He grew up in Venice in the 13th century. When he was 17, he traveled. Remember the double L? So if the verb, the action ends in L, make sure you put another L and then an ED. And he traveled with his father and uncle. They went is the past simple verb of go. So we're up to here. Solange. They went from Venice to Persia and finally to China. Polo, so that's his surname, lived. Yep, lived in China for 17 years. And he worked. ED. And he worked for the Khan or emperor. 24 years later, he returned. He returned to Venice and wrote. That's the past. Write is now or in the future. Tomorrow I will write a book. Now I'm writing a book. But in the past, I wrote a book about his journeys in Asia. The book, yes, became. So that's an irregular past verb. It became famous across Europe because of the stories. Marco Polo died in, who can say this year? In 1324. So which of the verbs are regular? Let's have a look. We know regular, it's ed. So traveled, lived, worked, returned are regular verbs.
Bye.
You could maybe, well, because the verb is die. So really, if it was regular, you would be like that because you're adding an ed. So it's kind of a little bit irregular because it deletes an e. It's the same. Lived. Ah, yes, because they end in e. Yes, because they end in e. So well, yeah, you're right. It's it's irregular. It says here irregular, but I do understand why you then to live should be the same rule. Mm. Okay, so if you need to add just the D or ED, then it's regular. So let's say that's regular. Yeah, well, yeah. But sometimes die, if you see it say irregular, yeah. Okay, so regular, we'll go with the rule that regular, you add D or ED. ED or D. And irregular, there's no rule. It's just, you can't make a rule. They're all very different. So if I just give you a list of irregular verbs in the past simple, because we don't want it in the past perfect. I mean, look at the words. We have bit, blew, broke, bought. There's no rule. They all have very different endings. Arose, awoke. I mean, there's so many that just, the rules are just very different. Abode, arose, awoke, flew, froze. There's no rule. So it's just, but the irregular ones grew up, wrote, became. Okay. let's write some questions. So remember, to ask question in the past, we can start with one of the 6 W's: where, when, which, who, when, what. Or we can start with how many. So let's remember that if we do start, so let's do, so we're going to do the 6 W's, and then we add, or it could be how many, and then we add to be. So I'm just going to put to be in the past. So you just have to put this one in the past. And then the subject. And so for the first one, how do we make a sentence? Where was?
There was an article in the second, you can see.
Yeah, where was? Using these words and verbs from exercise 2. Where?
Where is my professor living?
Yeah, that could be a question. Yeah, where did Marco Polo live? Okay, so we have, we're using this rule with the did. Where did, so not to be, where did, subject, Marco Polo, and then the action here. So that's our rule. So where did Marco Polo live? Remember that this is the main verb, and it does not have an ed or ing or anything like that. It's just the verb: live, sleep, eat, play, read. So did, because that's in the past. Not do, because he's not alive now. We're not talking about now, you know, where does Marco Polo live? But where did Marco Polo live in the 13th century? Question mark. Don't forget, question mark. Good. Number 2. When? Yeah, when did he travel with his uncle and father? With his father and uncle. Good. When did? So same rule. One of the 6 W's, we're using when now. When did he? So instead of saying the subject again, Marco Polo, we can replace it with he. When did he travel with his father and uncle? Number 3, which? Yeah. Did they travel? Go? Did they go to? Yep. So now we're going to replace, because if they replaces more than one person, so they, that means Marco Polo, his father, and his uncle, they. So the same one, where, which parts of the world did, the subject is they, the main verb go to. Number 4, how many? How many years did he live? Yeah. How many years did he live in China? That's how we make a question. So how how many years did he live in China? Number 5. Who did he work for? Yes. Who did he work for? So remember we talked about some verbs that have a preposition attached to them. This is one example. To work for is a different verb than the verb to work. So who, one of the 6 W's. So I'll put the rule in pink so we can see. So who did, subject, he, verb, work for. 6, when did, yeah, yeah, when did he return to Venice? Good question. Last one, what did he write a book about? Good. So that's our rule here. That's how we make questions in the past. So did. So now we can use the past simple. Yes? For our action words, we know how to talk about an action we did yesterday, last night, last year, 10 years ago. We add ed or d, or be careful, some are irregular. And to make it a negative, we say didn't verb. Yesterday, I didn't go to the movies. Yesterday, I didn't see my friend. So we can tick. We know how to ask and answer questions about the past. We can ask questions and we can answer it. We know to respond, it must be like this. Her name was Frida and she was from Mexico. Let's have a look. These were some time expressions. Remember, we just looked at them before. So it's easier to put the time expression in the beginning. So let's make some sentences. Starting with Daniel. Use the time expression last evening. A sentence. Last evening. And that's your rule. See you tomorrow. Bye. So how do we make a sentence? Last evening, subject, and what action do you want to tell me? You just have to make one up, a sentence. Last evening. So Daniel, what's your sentence? Last evening, I watched a movie. Yeah. Last evening, I watched a movie. Yeah. Okay. Anders, make me a sentence using the time expression last month. What did you do last month? Or you can change the subject, my friend, my sister, and what action? I visited the, how do I spell it? My brother. Yes. So you have to say my. Yeah. So last month, I visited with the ED my brother. Good. Yep. Conrado, make me a sentence with last week. Yes, last week I cooked pasta. Good. Yep. I cooked pasta. Jimin, make me a sentence with on February 28th. So you just have to pretend you did something on this day. What did you do?
February 15th is I met my I met my friend.
I met my friend. Yeah, good. So we use the time expression on February the 28th, the time I met my friend. Is that right? Good. Then in March, I went to the library. Oh, I went to Melbourne. Yeah, nice. So in March, I went to Melbourne. Yep, good. So we can see these are all called time expression. Solange, can you make me a sentence using, so make a sentence using a time expression like the examples I wrote. So we'll wait for one more sentence from Solange. As we wait, do you remember we looked at expressions? So using, if it was fantastic, great, fine, very good. Yeah, it was fun, okay, nice, funny, boring, fine, not bad, okay, terrible, not very good, funny, boring. So these were called our opinion. We looked at that maybe 2 lessons ago. It was called opinion adjective. Opinion adjectives. Let's have some other opinion adjectives. So what are different ones that are not here? Starting with Jimin, sorry.
First one is I think fine. Fine.
No, you have to pick a different one that's not in here on this list. So yes, let's do the exercise. So we cross out fine because that doesn't go. So fantastic, great, very good. Yes, fine. We need to cross that one out. So let's cross out fine in the first one. Then in the second one, what do we need to cross out? So make sure you put a line in fine because it doesn't go there. 2 faces, fine? No, fine is one face, fine. Yeah. Or maybe here, fine. Fun, okay, nice, funny, okay. Or funny. Maybe funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's okay.
Okay? Because okay maybe could be here.
Waiting for
You think maybe okay, not good to be here? Yeah, because okay is like this. You're not really smiling. You're not really sad. So let's cross out okay. You can also write okay like this. Okay. Okay, the next one. Boring. Fine, not bad. I think boring. Boring is like, you know, sad faced. So we can cross out boring. That doesn't go in that place. And the last one, terrible. Yes, that's the face for terrible. Not very good. Yes. Funny. No, we need to cross out funny. Okay, good. So these were called opinion adjectives. Can you think of any other adjectives? Opinion adjectives? What are some other ones?
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Yeah. Gorgeous. Yep. So remember, it's like, how do you feel? Beautiful. You know, how is the weather today? The weather is beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful. Yes. Nice. We have already. Nice. So we need different. Wonderful. Spectacular. Yeah. Yep. Spectacular. How was the movie? Spectacular. Yep. Van.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yep. These are all good ones. How about some bad ones like
Awesome.
horrible? Incredible. Yes. Incredible. Awesome. Yep. Horrible for bad. The weather is horrible. What's another one? A bad one. Not good, bad, boring, terrible, horrible. What else? Can you think of any more? Terrific. Well done. Yes. That's a good one. Terrific. I think terrific. Terrific means great. Terrific. That's a good one. With your sentence, you have to start with a time. So for example, today, today I had a beautiful day. Yeah, today I am having a beautiful day. Maybe like this. We need to put the time in the beginning. So time word in the beginning. So try again. Any other opinion adjectives? So imagine if someone asked you, how was the food? How was the movie? Delicious. Yeah. So delicious if we're talking about food. Yeah. Horrible. We could say the food was horrible. If someone said, how was the book? How was the class? How was your day? How? Chilly? Yeah. If it's about the weather, chilly. Yeah. How's the weather? Chilly. Any more? Andes, can you think of any more words? Fantastic. Yes. Fantastic.
Lovely.
Yeah. Lovely. Excellent. Yes. Excelente. Excellent. Good. So this is, we're giving our opinion, what we feel. Maybe someone asked us, how is the drink? How was the movie? How was did you like the book? Did you like the teacher? Did you like the friend? Did you like the whatever? So we can say yes, beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, excellent. If it perfect, I like perfect. I use this one a lot. Perfect. We don't have a lot of bad ones. Horrible. Let's add some bad ones. Horrible, bad. Sorry? Cool? Yeah, this one, cool. Cool. Yeah, cool. Yep. Okay, good. So now we know to use time expressions. That was this one. Time expressions at the beginning of the sentence. Last evening, last month, yesterday, last year, last Christmas, on my birthday, when I was a kid. Put that in the beginning of your sentence, then the subject, and then the past action, the verb. We know to use opinion adjectives. So if somebody asks us how we feel about the food, the movie, whatever, we know to reply. We use opinion adjectives. Good. Let's make some more questions. So number 1, we'll start with Jimin. How can I make a question with that?
How was your evening last evening? How was your last evening?
Let's have a look. How was your evening? Yeah, you don't need to add a word. How was your evening? Yeah. So how was your night? Did you have a good night? Yes, I did. How was your evening? Good. Wonderful. 2, Van. I need to make a question.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. Did you have a good weekend? Good. Did you have a good weekend? Conrado, 3. Make a sentence. Yeah, I'll give you a clue. Yes, the first word is was. Yeah, was it? Yes, was it a special party? Yep. Don't forget the question mark. Number 4, Anders.
Where?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where did? So remember the rule here? We have here, where did subject verb. So where did, now we need a subject. So where did, no, a subject. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. So where did you, verb, go? Yeah, last night. Yep, last night. So you have to write this rule down, this one. Make sure you write it in your book. One of the W's or how, and then did plus subject plus verb. So write this in your book. Number 6, Daniel. Sorry? There's no who.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Right.
Oh, sorry, yes, I'm looking at number 6. Sorry, who? Sorry, yeah. Yeah, who were with you? Yeah, who were with you? So you could respond my mother, my father, and my sisters. Who were with you? 6. We'll go back to yes, much better sentence. So yesterday I went to the hospital. Perfect. And number 6, Solange, can you make this one a sentence? Number 6. So make this a sentence. Change the order of the words. This is a hard one because there's 2 there. Yeah, but it makes sense. So let's see, can you make a sentence for number 6, Solange? So let's start with one of the W's. Okay, so I'll help you. So we have were, there, lots of people there at the party. So you can replace this with, were there lots of people at the party? Were there lots of people in the class? So there's 2 there. So the last one is the location. At the party, in class. So number 10 has the answers. So if I said to the cinema, which one is that the answer to? Number 4, what did you do where did you go last night? Yeah, to the cinema. So 4A. Yep. If the answer is yes, my friend finished university, so lots of people were there, which answer is that one to?
Number 6. Number 6.
Yeah, were there lots of people there? Yes. Maybe no. No, try another one.
Number 3.
Number 3, yes. Was it a special party? So yes, because my friend finished university. So it was special. Many people were there. So 3B. Yep. Yeah, were there. Okay, then so 3B, 4A. What about for C, my brother and his family? Which answer is that one to? Yeah. Who were you with? So 5. So 5C. Yep. And if the answer is, it was okay. I slept a lot and we went for a walk yesterday.
What?
No.
Number 1.
Number 2, did you have a good weekend? Because you said, did you have a good weekend? It was okay. It's very close to number 1. You're right. Because how was your evening? Very close, but number 2. E, no, not many. Which one is that the answer to? Yeah, were there lots of people? No, not many. So 6E. How about F? If the answer is, it was fun, I went out for a meal with friends. Yes, 1F. So how was your evening? The answer, it was fun. I went out for a meal with a friend. 1F. So they're the answers there. So now we have some time. Let's write a conversation about your weekend. So I want you to prepare. We've got time. Let's go in groups again, and you're going to write a conversation, and you're going to use these words. You can use other words. So we'll finish the unit here, and then we'll come back and do the conversation. Okay, so I have a video that we can watch, which is going to show us how we talk about our past weekend, which is like the conversation that you are creating. So let's watch this video about how to ask someone, how was their weekend? Did they have a good weekend? Okay, let's watch.
You have a good weekend? What was a great weekend for you? Do you like spending time with family or friends on the weekends? Check out the video below and see how everyone had a great weekend. Knowing how to be parents. Good morning. What do you do? I'm all right. How was your weekend? You get home during the weekends. Why didn't you hang out? Some projects that needed to be completed. What did you do on the weekends? I went to the theater with my parents. They just moved to the city, didn't they? No, they came to visit me in a few days. What was the play you watched? I watched Romeo and Juliet. It's one of the best plays I've ever watched. It's so true. Believe that your parents also enjoyed it. Yes, they did. They also want to watch it again sometime. Yes, we like it. Yeah. Then we went out to have dinner. Out to get chance. It was the Chinese restaurant looking recommended to me last time. Great. Which dishes do you like to try? I like sunflower cooking. What is it made of? It's made of chicken, corn, onions, and some oriental spices. It's so delicious. We should go together one day. Sure. I think I should visit your house and say hi to your parents. Oh, we moved back to Texas early in the morning. So pretty. My mom always urgent call from her company, so they left. Then everything is fine. Yeah, next time when they come, I will invite you to my house. Yeah. Going to the park. John, I heard that you went on a picnic last weekend, right? Yes, I went on a picnic with my family. What a happy family. I'm really jealous of you. In the beginning, I was not going to go with them. Why? I just wanted to play games. Come on. But I really miss the fresh air and the time with my family. It was a really nice day. Where did you go? We went to Central Park. Is it the park close to your house? Yes, it is. Do you remember the lake to the west of the park? Yes. What happened? There are some ducks swimming in the lake recently. Really? It's so cool. I recorded some videos here. Look. They are so cute. I fed them some vegetables from our food. Great. I also want to come see them. Yes, you should. Yesterday must be a great day for you. Not really. Suddenly it rained, so we ran home immediately. You realize. Yes. When I came home, I went shower immediately. I didn't want to get cold. You should spend more time with your family. I know. Just spending time with your family is never worthless. I see. I really enjoyed the time my family spent with you. Birthday party. Where did he go yesterday? Yesterday? Yes, I saw you at the Western Mall. I went to a bakery. Last weekend was my younger brother's birthday. He only has an older brother. Yeah, I have both a younger brother and an elder brother. But my younger brother is only 5 years old. So sorry. Yesterday you were so hurried, so I was not able to come say hello to you. No worries. I understand it was a busy day. What did you do then? After going to the bakery, I went to the supermarket with my mom and my brother. Sorry. It was really fun, but my mom bought too many things and it made us exhausted. Were there many people at the party? Yes, there were my grandparents, my aunt, my uncle, and my cousin. What did you do at the party? We enjoyed the dinner, singing, and dance together. A fantastic party. After all, my brother opened all the presents. It was the best one. My brother liked playing cards. Always liked cards. So I like puzzles. It is the case of Aunt Anna. So we see the puzzle at my very well too. Great. I haven't completed it yet. Can you want to play? Good. I will come to your house this weekend.
Okay, good. So we had some conversations that we saw in the past simple. So you heard was, what did, how many people were there. So lots of past conversations. So that's what we looked at for Unit 6. So just to recap, Unit 6 was talking about the past. So not today, not now, not in the future, but in the past. And our action words, you know, sleep, read, eat, we must change it by adding an ed if it's regular, or be careful, some words are irregular, like went. And if we didn't do the action, we say, I didn't see my friend yesterday. I didn't read a book yesterday. And if I want to ask someone a question, I can ask many questions. Where did you go last night? Who did you speak to? What did you eat? When did you go to Europe? Why did you come late? So many questions I can ask about the past. So that's the end of Unit 6. So we did all of Unit 6. Next lesson will be some extra materials. So we'll go through that with a test. So that's all we have.